benefit and perquisite, as you yourself rightly said, Naveen, benefit or perquisite, quite surprisingly, is not there. There is no reference to the meaning or definition under the section 194R. Or even if we go to 28.4, 28.4 also does not define benefit or perquisite. In fact, in 194R and 28.4, these two things are common. And that is, there has to be a benefit and perquisite. And 28.4 very implicitly says, and even 194R as we understand, the focus is it has to be having a nexus with business or profession. So I think you have articulated these two tests very clearly. Now, since, one is obviously to look at the dictionary meaning. We have a fair amount of case law on 28.4 where, there have been references to what is the benefit, what is the perquisite. Let me take up perquisite first, because at least perquisite is a word which is defined under the Income Tax Act, not in this context, but under Section 17 for employees. So as we understand, what is a perquisite? A perquisite is something which, say in the case of an employer, it is said something that the employee is required to do if the employer is spending on his behalf. This is a perquisite. And I will go deep into the term reimbursement and the controversy around it. But there you see, once we understand benefit or perquisite, the question, Naveen, will come. I'm just making a touching reference since you have, pricked up this issue. We'll need to look at whether the person who is receiving the reimbursement is getting any benefit or perquisite out of it. So I think, we need to, I'm going to repeat this mantra throughout this entire webinar, and that is, we have to make a distinction between a payment which is made in the course of business or profession and a benefit or perquisite in the exercise of the business or profession. Merely because I am doing a business or profession and I am getting something, it cannot be. And I emphatically tell this based on the celebrated Owen versus Book decision of the House of Lords in the good old days. Dr. Punia will remember. Sir, the House of Lords and the Privy Councils used to say, when they used to decide on perquisites, that you see what is being given to the employee. If you are giving the facility of a car, or if you are providing him petrol, etc., for his personal use, it is a perquisite. But if the employee is traveling for work for the employer, and after the trip is over, this is what government servants do. If we say, of course, the government servants are not engaged into business or profession. The only difference is, they are doing work for the government and they are reimbursed. And I don't think anybody anytime says that the officer, merely because he took a reimbursement of expenses that he had spent for the trip, that he had incurred for the government is to be taxed. It is something like this. What is spent by anybody. Say, for example, I give instances, because I'm proving, since there is no definition of benefit or perquisite. Now, the question is, a manufacturer of an electronic product is giving, the products to the, dealer. If you go to any Samsung shop, you will find n number of products there. They are there. Why are they there? Not for the dealer to be used. They are there for display. Because nobody will buy this until they see it. Hoardings are put up outside. coolers are given where you are selling chocolates, Amul milk parlors. Amul gives, all the stuff in the parlors to its dealers. Now, are you going to say that these are all benefits or perquisites and then we'll value them, we'll tax them? I would say such things, whether it's a capital receipt or it's a revenue receipt, if something that I receive is in the nature of reimbursement, is something which is not in the nature of any benefit or perquisite to me, and reimbursement is just an example, sample is another example, and there can be n number of such examples, or anything which is not in the nature of benefit or perquisite cannot come within the domain of this.